Namaste to all students. Myself JV and Dr. Khushbu Verma from Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Science. Today we are going to discuss about cell signaling part second session, and this session is related to cell biology course of program BTech FBT and BSc FST second sem. So in this session we are going to discuss about second type of a receptor, which is a very famous receptor, is kinase receptor. These are transmembrane proteins that are composed of at least two subunits and therefore have a quaternary structure. Each of the subunits contains a single alpha helical transmembrane domain, so they can diffuse relatively easily in the membrane. The subunits of inactive receptors dissociate from one another and only bind to one another when they come into the contact for the proper ligand. Their cytoplasmic tail contain protein kinase domains. A protein kinase is an enzyme that attaches phosphate groups to the side chains of the specific amino acids. Now come to the types of kinase receptors. So serine or threonine kinase receptors are the most heterogeneous in structure than tyrosine kinase, and the most do not undergo the trans-autophosphorylation. Instead, they phosphorylate a separate signaling protein. Tyrosine kinase receptor, which contain two subunits. Each of two subunits contain a tyrosine kinase, and in many cases, each phosphorylates tyrosines on the opposite subunit, a behavior called trans-autophosphorylation. Here you can understand about the tyrosine kinase receptor by this diagram. So here I am sharing the screen of presentation. This is the tyrosine kinase. These are the two subunits which are right now inactive because there is no signal molecule which has been attached to this receptor. So now in this case, this tyrosine kinase is inactive. It has two subunits of tyrosine kinase domain which are right now inactive. When signal molecule comes, these two subunits will come together, and these are having tyrosine tails which phosphorylate itself. Now this form of tyrosine kinase is inactive because its tyrosine tail has been phosphorylate itself. Many receptor tyrosine kinases RTK trigger a chain of signal transduction event inside the cell that ultimately leads to the cell growth, proliferation, or the specialization of the cell in a progress known as differentiation. These processes are tightly controlled so that the specific cell only the specific cell reopen or respond when the appropriate ligand is available. Examples of RTK includes the insulin receptor, the nerve growth factor receptor, and epidermal growth factor EGF. Now come to the structure of RTK. These receptors often consist of a single polypeptide chain with only one transmembrane segment. The extracellular portion of the receptor contains the ligand binding domain. Inactive receptors are separated polypeptides with inactive tyrosine kinase domain. When they bind to the signal molecule, it causes the two subunits of the receptor is to join together. This process is also called dimerization. The resulting phosphotyrosine amino acids are binding site for additional signaling proteins that pass the signal along the pathway. When the cytoplasmic tail of one subunit is brought together or brought close to the tyrosine kinase domain of the other subunit, it is phosphorylated on specific tyrosine amino acids. Now come to the second type of a receptor, which is nuclear receptor. So they are actually located in the cytoplasm and migrate to the nucleus after binding with their ligands. They are composed of C-terminal ligand binding region, a core DNA binding domain DVD, and N-terminal domain that contains the AF activation function 1 region. The core region has two zinc fingers that are responsible for recognizing the DNA sequence specific to this receptor. The N-terminus interacts with other cellular transcription factor in a ligand-independent manner. Depending on these interactions, it can modify the binding or activity of the receptor. Membrane permeable signals adheres to the receptor proteins in the cytosol. These receptors typically have very short signal transaction pathways. They move directly into the nucleus once they are bound and activated. These are called nuclear receptor for this reason. Here you can understand this nuclear receptor structure and its function by this diagram. These are the steroid hormones, which are cortisol, and these are the steroid receptor with HSP protein. They come and they engulf this steroid hormone or cortisol, and then further they are now they are, have been bind to their specific ligand, so they will transport it to the nucleus. Here they will control the steroid response element and go for the transcription process. So that's how these nuclear receptors behave and control the nucleus expression. Next is ligand-gated ion channels. It is commonly known as ionotrophic receptors, are a group of transmembrane ion channel proteins which open to allow ions such as sodium, potassium, calcium, and chloride ion to pass through membrane in response to the binding of a chemical messenger such as neurotransmitter. When a presynaptic neuron is excited, it releases the neurotransmitter from vesicles into the synaptic cleft. The neurotransmitter then binds to a receptor located on the postsynaptic neuron. If these receptors are ligand-gated ion channels, a resulting conformational change opens the ion channels, which leads to a flow of ions across the cell membrane. This in turn results in either a depolarization for a excitatory receptor response or a hyperpolarization for an inhibitory response. Now come to the structure of ligand-gated ion channels. These proteins are typically composed of at least two different domains, a transmembrane domain which includes the ion pore and an extracellular domain which includes the ligand binding location. Here you can understand these ion-gated channels by this diagrammatic flow chart, where you can simply see in this case it is closed because there is no acetylcholine signal when it comes. So it opens the pore and sodium ions can pass from one side to the another side, means to the cytosol region. So this is the sum up of this session, and this session is powered by digital version 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University Jaipur. And if you're talking about the key points related to this session, if you're talking about the key points of this session, cell signaling, so you have to know about the different types of signaling. Means what is autocrine signaling, what is paracrine signaling, what is endocrine signaling, and juxtacrine signaling. You have to know about the examples of these signalings. Means for the autocrine signaling, cytokine, immune cells, growth factors are the example, and for the paracrine signaling, nerve, muscle cells, and cytokines are the best examples. And for endocrine signaling, peptide and steroid hormones are the best example. And for juxtacrine signaling, your notch signaling is very much important. And these four types are basically related to the intercellular signaling. There is a basic difference in between two major types of the signaling. First one is the intercellular signaling, and second one is the intracellular signaling. In the intercellular signaling, the transfer of the information from one cell to the another cell happens, and cell signals each other by the direct contact with each other or by the release of a substance from one cell that is taken up by the another cell. And but in case of a second type, which is intracellular, so in intracellular, the transmission of molecular signals from one cell's exterior to its interior. So transmitted cells between cells by the secretion of the hormones which picked up by the different cells. So this is the basic difference in between intercellular and intracellular signaling. And those four types of signaling like paracrine, autocrine, juxtacrine, endocrine, all four types are related to the intercellular signaling. So these are the key points related to this session, and which are important in the context of competitive exams. So this is the sum up of this session. If you have any query, then mention in the comment box. I will resolve it. Thank you.